All right. I'm I'm going to turn on the recorder so that I don't forget because it's very easy for me to forget. But how's everyone doing? Excellent. Staying cool, staying cool. I think the heat finally hit us here in Ventura. Nothing like what other people are having, but I have a little air conditioner here in my studio that it's just a tiny little studio, and so I just have a little standalone air conditioner that I can turn on because nobody has air conditioning in Ventura.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I
anyway,
managed.
where
Oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead. No,
No, I was
no.
just going to say I managed to pick up COVID after 3.5 years.
Oh no,
No way.
I've
that's
dodged it,
terrible.
dodged it totally until last Sunday night. I got it.
Well, how are you doing?
It's actually very light. I'm I was achy and I have a runny nose and uh, a little headache, but really and tired. It's been, thank goodness, it's been an easy, but I've had all the vaccinations and I'm on Paxlovid
Oh,
and
that's good. That's good.
mhm, it seems to, something's working. I don't care what it is.
Oh,
It's been
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, it's the way it is. I guess I couldn't avoid it forever. It's just everywhere. It's just everywhere. People are not taking care and noticing. And I made the mistake of not wearing a mask last week at Navy Pier in Chicago. And even though I was outside most of the time, doesn't seem to matter. So anyway, I feel fine though. I mean, it's not a big deal at this point, thank goodness.
That's
yeah,
good.
that's really good. That's really good. Yeah,
It's giving me more time to knit.
look on the bright side.
Right.
Oh,
So I really I've been having some health issues and I haven't really progressed on mine. And I'm the one who had to go down to a size 3 needle, and
oh,
I just couldn't get gauge, and it's kind of bothering my hands trying to knit that thick yarn. So I've got to try to figure out. I don't know. I'm thinking if I try metal needles, maybe they would slide better.
yeah.
But
What's the fabric like? Are you
I'm
liking the fabric?
well, I haven't gotten very far
Oh,
yet, but, so I can't really tell. But I was wondering, would it be possible to knit this and knit the sleeves in the round?
I think aren't the sleeves knit in the round?
Oh, I thought they were flat.
Yeah. No,
Oh, they're
I
knit
think
in
that
the right.
yeah, I knit the toe side, didn't knit the leg side, but I believe that the leg side is knit in the round.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can either use magic loop like I don't know if you were here last week, weren't you?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. Or last time I should say. Um yeah, you can either use the magic loop or you can use I don't know, would a 12 inch or 16 inch? Did anybody use a
Yeah, I
16 inch
usually use two
char?
circs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
How about
thank
Shar?
you.
What Absolutely, Regina. Shar, what size circulars did you use?
I very quickly went to 16 inch, and I'm knitting a 7. It was interesting because I was buzzing along and then I hit the sleeves. This is like last Saturday or Sunday night or something. So I just got on Amazon and I got them like in the next day. And I did just do my joined body and sleeves last night. So I've got quite a ways to go too, but I was kind of in a panic trying to figure out how do I go from these little guys and then get back to the big long cable. But I figured it out. I think I did. So then I spent some time this morning trying to figure out the wrap and turn directions. So I think that's where I'm at this point. If I'm doing it correctly, I'm just about up to my first little marker on my first sleeve. So then I guess I flip it and then purl back. Does that sound right?
Okay, hold on.
Are any of you that far?
Not me.
Yeah, let's hear from anybody who's farther
Yeah.
along.
I know there was a gal that was posting on, Kathy, how far are you?
I haven't started yet.
Oh, okay. There was somebody posting on
I just
Facebook that
finished the
was buzzing.
HBT like 2 days ago, and it's still got the ends to weave in and everything. So I'm just tuning in to see what I can learn.
Oh, okay, okay.
Can we see the Ashby tea? You
Yeah,
have it?
hang on.
Let's see. Let me pull up the Lakewood pattern here.
This is it. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, oh yeah, it's beautiful. You got that kind of that greenish blue color.
Yeah. And the sleeves
You
came out
know,
real narrow, but they fit really nicely.
you know,
really
mine came
pretty.
out narrow as well, and I liked it better actually than the bigger ones. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it looked kind of flower potty on the pattern.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and it's so stretchy. Sorry about that. But the only thing I wish I'd done differently is done a little bit more flexible bind off on the neck. But I can get it on and off and it lays nice, so I'm just gonna leave it.
I had to take mine off and redo it for that very
Yeah.
reason. I couldn't put it over my head. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I had to undo it. I thought, oh, this looks so nice, and then I went, oops, and I had to take it out and redo it.
Are the directions incorrect?
No, no, just it says bind off, and I just and apparently Kathy did too. We just bound off too tightly.
Ah,
I still bound off the regular way, but I just did it looser. You know, I just was conscious. It's amazing how you can, you know, how things can change when you just think, okay, I'm doing it tight or I'm doing it loose, you know, it kind of, oops, Kathy can't hear you.
Oh, I said I thought I was doing it loosely, but I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it's loose enough and it works, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, I didn't want mine gappy. So, you know, I don't like necklines that are kind or, you know, sweaters that are kind of gappy. So I wanted it, you know, I don't know. So great. So, okay, so I pulled up the pattern here. So if there are any other questions, I can at least orient myself. It looks like the sleeves don't, okay, so you're at the wrap and turn. So did you need any, now I think last week, did I put YouTube instructions on for the wrap and turn for like the German short rows?
I don't remember. I'm not there yet, so I can't
I
remember.
think you might have. I was near Chicago last week or 2 weeks ago when we met, so I didn't watch you live. I watched it later. I think you gave the link, but then I also found a very pink.
I love very
Online.
pink. In
Yeah,
fact,
and
isn't that what I used? Isn't that what I used?
you
Because I
might
love
have.
very
I think you might have. That sounds a little familiar. She goes kind of quick and then she does it in slow-mo. So I went through and wrote down each of the steps so I can just glance at it.
Oh, I guess this wasn't very pink. I often use her. I really like her.
Which one did
Oh,
you
wait,
use?
no,
I
this is
thought-
the
are
wrap
you
and
sure?
turn one. Oh, here's the German short row. Hold on, hold on. Maybe I did use. Oh no, I used the. No, I didn't use very pink. Yeah, if you, yeah, let me look up the very pink one.
Essentially all you're doing is just the wrap turn and then purling the next side and going all the way back, right?
Right, because you want it to still be stockinette, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm coming up to my marker here shortly.
So this is for the short rows you're talking.
This is for, yes, the short row shaping, they call it. And it's on page 4 of are we all doing the same pattern, I guess, or no?
Well, we did two.
Some
We
of
did
them.
the Tulsa and we did the Lakewood. Some people
Okay.
did the Tulsa, and of course the Tulsa went much more quickly
Yeah.
because we're
This is
done with that.
shorter. Yeah.
So short rows. Yeah, I mean wrap and turn, it sounds all kind of ominous and like, oh, what's that? How do I do it? But really, like anything, in my opinion, like anything in knitting, once you do it, you just do each little step. What was it, Dixie, who was on last time? I really like her attitude. Somebody said in Facebook, how do you do such and so, or in this part of the pattern? And she came back and she just said, just do what the pattern says. She wasn't being uh snippy or whatever. She was just saying, just follow the every step along and just trust it and you'll be fine. And so often that's the way it is.
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes a pattern,
I guess.
but this one seems to be really pretty clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still curious, Regina, as to why you had to go so far down to a size 3. I can understand having to go down a little bit, but I was
Yeah, maybe
very
I'll,
surprised.
yeah, I'll maybe redo the swatch and see.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
know I always, for example, this thing I'm knitting here, that this is the lemon spritz, the 4-day knit along, and
Oh,
it called for a 5, and I'm using a 7, so I always have to go up, but not
huh.
quite as much as I was having to do with the this pattern.
Well, you went up with
Yeah.
that and you went down with this one, right?
Yeah, right. You're right. I don't know.
So that's really odd. Okay. Well, may I see your fabric um,
Well,
that you're creating
I'm
here?
barely casting it, getting the.
Oh, got it. You have no, yeah, you told
No,
me
I
that. I'm sorry.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry, but
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure I could help you. This is our
yeah.
last one. If you have any questions, if you're in the Facebook group, make sure and tag me and post in the Facebook group if you have
Oh,
any
okay.
questions
Yeah,
after the knit
I
along.
will. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so often. And we have a new moderator in the Facebook now too, Shauna. And
Oh,
so I'm really excited that I have someone else to keep an eye on things. I have my eyes in too many places at the
thank
moment.
you.
Hey, Pam, I
Absolutely.
did just flip my corner. Is that how it
Yes.
should look? Ah, can you see that?
Can you back up just a smidge so I can see? It looks right to me.
It looks kind of like a pearl, sort of like
Can you can a little bit higher there? So
right there.
yeah,
Is that it?
you're right to the what I'm looking at to the right of the stitch marker is what you're talking
This
about.
thing right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Where my pinky
yeah,
is. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep going while we're talking.
yeah, yeah. Keep going. We'll see.
All right.
They're just shaping the yoke up. This sweater is shaped so nicely on the in the yoke.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see the yoke up close. I was hoping someone was that far. It looks like it's real pretty in the picture.
Yeah. I think, let me look here. I thought some people in the Facebook group had finished it, but maybe.
We're talking Lakewood.
Yeah.
Yes, the liquid tea. And then I wondered about the Kitchener stitch. Have you shown us how to do that? Have I missed that?
No, I haven't shown you how to do that. Um,
I don't want to dash ahead because other people may have other questions and I can probably figure it out, but
Well,
let's maybe get everyone else if they've got stuff going on.
you know what? The Kitchener, I have to, every single time I'm looking here, see if I can find, I was sure somebody had posted a picture, but maybe they just sent it to me through the customer service line. Boy, so many Ashbys. I see several Ashbys that look just beautiful. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Um, I thought I'm sure Dixie's finished hers. Maybe it was just that she showed it last week. Maybe that was it. She held it up.
Somebody was going
And
really, really quick, and maybe I just need to go back and watch that one.
yeah, I think it was Dixie, Dixie Anders, and
Okay.
yeah, and she held it up and it was just beautiful. It was just like the picture. It was just
Okay,
just
that sounds
lovely.
right. I think she had been working pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was headed back to her home from Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the Kitchener, let's find a really good Kitchener. The Kitchener is one of those that I have to, every single time I have to look it up because I mean it's kind of a joke. They do Joanne is joining. Hi Joanne. Hi Joanne. Um they they make little stitch marker hangers and stuff that have how to do the Kitchener on it because it's just like notorious. We all forget how to do it every
Ah,
time.
okay.
So here's very pink knits. Oh, here's a good one. Slow motion Kitchener. I really like very pink.
Okay.
So
So it's
let's,
slow motion Kitchener.
yeah, it's her slow motion. Here's the link. And I can play it here. You're not ready for it yet, are you, Shar?
No, but I can watch it. Sometimes I need
Okay.
to watch things a lot over and over.
I totally hear
Pam,
you.
Pam, would you put it in the comments like you did last time?
Yeah, I
Below?
already did, and I will put it in the YouTube comments as well, or the description as well. Yes,
That's
I'll
it,
remember
the
that from now
description.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I bought
I,
this recently. It's a
well,
little,
see, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. And it's just like notorious for everybody to forget how to do it. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you. How are you? You have a beautiful painting behind you. I love all those colors. They're my colors. Okay, so let's switch this over to okay. Can everybody see the screen?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's just play it. It's 7 minutes long, but I might skip ahead a little bit. But now tell me one thing. I've got a little air conditioner going on here. Can everybody hear that, or is that it bothering you? Okay.
I don't,
Oh, I just remembered when I have my earbuds.
This video is part of my slow motion.
Can you hear it
series where I'm
now?
showing, I'm knitting things.
Yes.
My producer is slowing it way down for visual learners. If you'd like to see the entire slow motion playlist, just click the little eye in the upper right-hand corner. Right now I have the basics in there, but I've been getting requests for more videos, and this was one of the requests that I got. I'm happy to do it. Kitchener stitch is a way of grafting stitches together so that there's no seam on the inside or the outside, and it looks just like knitting. It's what we use in the toes of socks, and I'm going to demonstrate on this little sock toe that I've knit up here. If you'd like to see my regular speed Kitchener stitch video, just click the little eye in the upper right-hand corner. That will be there also. But for this, I'm going to work the setup stitches, the Kitchener stitch, and the ending stitches. And I'm also going to add some voice over this one so that you know exactly what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and do it.
Mhm.
First, I get everything up close to the tips of the needles. And the first 2 stitches I'm going to do are setup stitches. Go in as if to purl on the front needle. Leave that stitch on the needle. Then go in as if to knit on the back needle, also leaving that stitch on. Now we start the sequence. It's 4-stitch sequence. Front needle, go in as if to knit, and slide that stitch off. Then go in as if to purl on the next stitch. Back needle, go in as if to purl, and slide that stitch off. Then go in as if to knit on the next stitch, leaving that one on. The sequence I tell myself is knit off purl, purl off knit. Front needle, knit, off, purl. Back needle, purl, off, knit. And then after you finish the 4-stitch sequence, you can give it a tug, tighten everything up. Knit, off, purl, purl, off, knit. Keeping everything below the needles and tug. Knit, off, purl, purl, off, knit. And tug. And remove the fuzz. Knit, off, purl, purl, off, knit. And with these last 2 stitches, just knit, off, and purl, off, tighten everything up. And you can really pull on that end, provided your yarn is strong enough to tighten everything up a bit more. And there's the finished Kitchener stitch. It would benefit from a little more straightening out.
Okay. So can everybody hear me again? Okay, okay, good. So does that make sense? And can you all understand why, if I do it once, maybe twice a year, since I'm not a sock knitter, oh, I have to look it up every single time. But I like how she did the knit, purl off, and purl off, knit. That's a nice little mantra that I think will stick with me a little bit better even this time. So
She makes it very easy.
yeah, she makes things very easy. I do love her her tutorials. Yeah, very much. And if it's flat, if it's not on a toe, and if you're just putting together two, flat pieces, it's just seamless. It looks just like straight solid knitting, like you wouldn't know that you just manually wove those two together to look like it was knit. So it's a great little tool to have in your knitting toolbox.
All right, so I've got a quick question about the Kitchener. That will be on the underarm part of the sleeves, I believe. And right now I have a ball of yarn on each sleeve. It seems like last week someone had maybe mentioned that when they were doing the separate sleeves in the round with the smaller needle, and it wasn't the method, I think, Pam, that you had shown us. But I'm wondering if I can go ahead and just snip some yarn to get rid of each of those balls. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up on the body while I'm knitting it. If I accidentally catch something from one of the sleeves. So the Kitchener won't take a whole lot of yarn, but I need some yarn in
Can
there.
you use it from the middle of like use one ball of yarn and use the two ends, one for each arm? Do you know what I mean?
Right now I have one ball attached for each arm, just because
Oh.
I had done them separate, and
Okay, I just
all my
wondered.
wisdom, I've just started them separately with single bars of yarn. But I think when I do the Kitchener, I'm going to need yarn down there anyway. So I don't think I want to snip it too short and weave it in.
Yeah, if you just have one end, you'll just use that one end to do the Kitchener.
The Kitchener, all it takes is one end. Okay, so maybe I'll leave it in place for right now and kind of play with it and just be careful.
Yeah, my guess is you probably only had 3 inches tops to Kitchener together, right? There's probably
it's not going to take much. Yeah, it's not much at all.
I mean,
no, right there.
Oh yeah, maybe 3 inches. Yeah, so like, I don't know, I'd leave a couple, like maybe 24 inches or something, so that, and what I would probably do is I would cut off enough, a fair amount, and then I would just roll it up in a little ball and
Got it.
so that I had the big ball out of the way, and it was easier to knit, because no matter when you're knitting the sweater or the sleeve, you're constantly turning your work, and
a lot of weight.
an extra ball can give weight and just get tangled up.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I'm sorry, I don't have your first name. It says B Tag. Yeah. Oh, I asked you to unmute, but looks like.
Tap your screen and look for the microphone.
I'll ask again. I'll click the.
There.
There we go. There you are. I'm sorry. What is your first name?
Becky.
Becky. Very good. Becky. So I see you're untangling.
I am. My grandson had a project and he did apologize for getting the yarn all tangled up. So I have not started this. I've got to seam one more side on my last tee and join this 2 shoulder seams. So I have not started the next one.
Oh,
So I
well.
thought I'll just untangle his yarn since he did apologize.
Absolutely. Are you like I am? I kind of perversely like to untangle yarn.
Whoa.
When I'm listening, I do. I don't like to just sit and untangle.
Yeah.
But this is good because I'm listening to all of the comments and how the very pink video. And it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, I'm glad you're here, Becky.
I have the pattern in the yarn. I just haven't gotten ahead of gotten on it yet.
Yeah. Oh, sure. It's no rush. Knitting's supposed to be fun, so whenever we do
Yeah.
it, we enjoy it.
Yeah.
And Joanne, have you started yours yet? Whoops, we need to, let's see. I just asked you to unmute.
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. I've run into all sorts of problems. Some of them are, well, I had something happen with my hand. I have rheumatoid arthritis and my knuckle joint swelled up. Anyway, so I've gone like 2 or 3 times starting, but I still am really motivated and want to do it. So I'm trying for like the 4th time to get going. The last problem was the Mobius strip, if you know what I mean. Like
Yes. I know
so
exactly what you mean.
anyway, that's where I'm at. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love the color that I chose, the yellow. And what I have done on my 4th try looks great. So maybe this will be the one.
Excellent. Now, are you doing the Tulsa or the Lakewood?
I'm doing the Lakewood.
Okay, very nice. And the nice thing about the Lakewood is it's going to last all on into the fall. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
what I'm
got
planning. What?
got
Yeah,
some coverage, so it's fine that you didn't finish it yet. You'll have plenty of time to use it, and if you don't this year, then next year.
exactly. I loved just looking at the Kitchener stitch. That seems so logical, and I'm sitting here wondering just who thought of such a perfect thing.
I know. It's amazing. It's amazing all the things people
Right,
think of.
right.
And if you spend any time on Instagram or anything, the knitters come up with these reels that they're showing you how to do different kinds of bind offs and and they're just amazing and so much fun.
Sure.
Yeah, so much to learn. I think maybe that's what I like about it. There's just about knitting is there's always more to learn. There's you never, I don't feel like you can ever say, okay, I've got it. There's always something else.
I was wondering too if anyone else is running into the kinds of problems I have. For another thing, I have like a lower, like a vision loss. And so I use a headlight. In fact, I have 2 from LL Bean, and they really make it so much better. They shine right on what you're trying to see. They're really good.
I see, Regina, you have a nice light. I'm totally. Let's see. You can hear me still?
Yes.
I can hear so much better with these AirPods in. Yeah, light is just so important. I can remember growing up, my mom was always, turn on the light, you're reading, because I was this voracious reader that always had my nose in a book and I read everywhere. And she was always, there's not enough light, there's not enough light. And I would kind of internally roll my eyes, because probably externally too, but you know, as always I could see. Well, now I understand what she was talking about, because as we get older, we just need more light to, you
The
know,
light
I'm the
is
same way.
wonderful, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea to use a headlamp. That's really good. Or they have these, and I
I
kind of always
tried
wanted to
that,
get
but
them.
I couldn't get it to aim in just the right
Oh,
direction. But the LL Bean one, not that I'm pushing LL Bean, I'm sure other people make them, but I don't know if you can
yeah.
see it. It looks like
Yeah.
this, and you just put it on and
Oh,
Yeah.
shine it where you need it. Like this moves like that, and I don't want to blind anybody, but
And then when you want to go spelunking, you're all ready to go.
yes, and then I can just turn it off when I don't need it. It's just wonderful. I'd be lost without it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That way you can move, you can shift. You don't have to worry about the lamp being the
Right.
factor of where you sit. No, I love it.
I do too.
Great idea.
In fact, I have two. I have one charging the rest of the time.
Oh, that's nice too. They don't run on
Right, they're
they
USB.
rechargeable. Yeah, batteries. Excellent, excellent. So, is there anybody have any other questions or comments or?
Pam, is it possible for you to resend me the pattern? I can't, I thought I downloaded
Oh,
it,
sure.
but I was looking at it because you were talking about stuff and I wanted to see it, to look at it, and I must have forgotten to download it.
Absolutely. Let me do that right now while we're talking.
Thank you. I try to do that as soon as I get the email, but sometimes I get distracted.
Absolutely. I understand.
Joanne, I was going to tell you that I have this neck light thing that you kind of manipulate the
Yes, I have one
a
of those,
little.
but I didn't work well with it. How
I haven't played with mine enough. I was traveling a lot this summer and I thought surely I'll be able to knit on the plane in the dark, but instead I knitted when it was light outside. But I like to be in bed when my husband's sleeping and either on my Kindle or doing something else. So I'm going to see if I can kind of play with him a little bit and be knitting and not bugging him. But I'm the same way. The more light I can have on something, the better off I am.
yeah, it's like a miracle. You see,
Yeah,
you know,
it really
everything.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my eyes just get tired, I think, too, when I'm looking up really close and concentrating hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a little off topic, but I'll show you what I've been working on lately.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
I think I saw those on the website,
These little
Facebook. How cute.
Oh, those are darling.
I've got to get the ends woven in, and
Talk about almost instant gratification out of something short and quick.
I know they're really short and quick. They do have some
Really cute.
kind of little I mean, they're tiny, so but anyway, they're fun. I'm going to start on the acorns next and then knit a pumpkin or two, but
Uh-huh.
I love fall things, and if I don't get started early on them, fall just kind of goes and is gone, and all of a sudden it's Christmas.
Has anybody, I know this is a very strange question. Has anybody had to have shoulder surgery while you were a knitter? I'm going to have shoulder surgery. I do nothing
I'm
but go to
sure you
doctor.
could figure something out.
Well,
You
they
know,
said I could they said I could knit, but then other people say, well, I don't know how you can do that. Well, I'm not moving my shoulder, I'm just moving my
Right, you
wrist,
concentrate
really,
on,
right? Wouldn't you
I have
think?
a,
you'll be able
I have a
to.
friend that just had shoulder replacement and she's a
That's,
knitter. And
yeah,
she was knitting almost the whole time.
okay. That's, because that's what I'm having is my shoulder replaced. And so that was like my first question. Can I
And I
knit?
knit.
They
The
looked at me
doctor's
like I was out of my mind, but of course there was guys who like, what do they know at this point? The doctors, you know, they're
They know
thinking
how to
surgery.
replace your shoulder,
knitting.
and that's all you need them to know.
Yeah, exactly. Know how to replace it. Good. Boom. All right, that's good.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be interesting knitting on pain pills.
Then it
Yeah.
would really be the
Woo-hoo!
dizzy knitter.
Yeah. I could be your logo.
That's right.
Just don't drink while you're doing it. Yeah,
No.
no drinking.
No, I don't drink anyway, so it's not a problem. But I think my biggest thing will be I'll need to have a lot of ice, from what I hear.
Yeah,
But
I would think if you're stable on that upper body, you're gonna be all right and just use more of your elbow up.
yeah, that's
But
what
you
I.
know what?
so.
When you go in, ask if you can talk with an OT or a physical therapist just to get clarification on that.
Yeah, well, I've tried to find out if I can get occupational therapy, and they're like, well, you don't need occupational therapy. And I'm thinking, again, this is guys, you know, they
Yeah.
don't have to do things the way we have to do things. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, I need occupational therapy. You
Yeah.
know, there's just things that we do differently. And
It's a daily living kind of thing. So, and seriously, it's everything from how are you going to brush your hair? How are you going
yeah,
to wash your hair? Brush your teeth,
Wash your
all
teeth.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So yeah, they should be having someone talk with you.
I know. I bug them about it. I tell them Medicare will pay for it if you will prescribe it. But they're like really being abstinent. So I'm going to call my insurance and see if they're the problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, to see if that's where the block is. But it is. I can still talk to a physical therapist or somebody to make sure that knitting is,
Well, did they order PT for you? Will you have
well, that
physical?
after 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I do some PT on my own at home, very mild, during, while I have the sling. But I can't drive for a month, and it's going to be pretty boring.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
When are you having it? What's the date?
August 29th.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get all my little ducks in a row because, you know, all of a sudden it's here. It's already the end of July. I mean, I can't get over it. So I'm ordering pull-up pants, which I haven't even figured out how I'm going to do that with only one hand.
Right.
But that's why you need OT because
I
they
know.
how to do all
Teach you
those things.
adaptations.
Yeah.
Yep. It's kind of silly that they don't think I need it. I don't get it. But anyway, I'll deal with them. They don't know who they're dealing with.
You're a
So-
lady with knitting needles, so they should be afraid.
You better watch it. I've got knitting needles and I'm not afraid to use them.
Oh goodness. Well, what does everyone want to do? Is everybody here in the Facebook group?
I am. I just sometimes feel I'd like to, just say to someone, well, I'm having trouble with this but I'm trying and, making adaptations as best as possible. But I would like a little more contact with people, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't be shy, for one thing, in the Facebook group. Feel free to hop on and talk to people, and ask them. And also email me at our customer service support, support at T as in Tom, D as in dog, knitter, tdknitter.com. And, you know, I don't do all the customer service. So sometimes it takes me a few days to be able to answer the how to do pattern questions. But I'm happy also to, you know, to help with anything I can do. I I'm not going to schedule another. I was going to schedule the month of August off and not have knit-alongs, and then I added this fall knit-along, the last weekend in August. I added that one just as a quick one-off. But in a few weeks, if I get enough, you know, questions, you can either put the question in the Facebook group or email me directly on the support email. If everybody, you know, kind of wants a check-in, then I'll schedule kind of an impromptu check-in. Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
good. If I can get
Yeah,
far enough along.
that's right. And do it before your surgery.
My
You know.
surgery.
Yeah, yeah.
Good luck, huh?
Or check in right after your surgery to see how you're doing.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get onto the Facebook page every so often just to see how people are finishing up and what they're doing. And it's people are so good and they're very helpful to everybody. And it's very nice. It's very nice.
Absolutely. Now, Joanne, let me be clear. You said you'd had some problems getting started, you know, and you did a Mobius strip, which I just did one the other day. It's like, what happened? And by the way, if you catch the Mobius strip in the first row or maybe two, you can flip it without making any, you know, without taking the whole thing off. You can flip it. And I didn't know you could do that until I saw Patty Lyons, here a couple months ago. You know, she was showing how just flip it and go on. And I thought, well, if Patty Lyons can do that, I can too. And so that's what I did when I cut my Mobius strip a
So
couple
did you
rows
just
in.
I
so
was
that it's not
much,
obvious anymore?
Yeah,
Just one flip, huh?
just one flip and keep going. And I was amazed at how I couldn't even see.
Okay, because a friend of mine was telling me she had the same problem and our local knitting place, 3 Bags, someone there just fixed it too. And I was like, well, how did they do it? It's like, that would be good to know.
They just flipped it.
I know,
And
because I've seen it said in looking up such things that there's no repair other than to rip out. That was one of the things that I saw.
yeah,
So
well, that's what I've always thought for how many umpteen years. And then several months ago, I saw Patty Lyons say, "No, you can fix it," and I went, "Well, if it's good enough
in
for
the
her,
first
it's
one,
good enough
yeah.
for me."
Mine was much
It-
later, but
Yeah,
What-
yeah. And
What's
so
the
what?
name of the, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's
Go
the
ahead,
name of
Virginia.
the Facebook group? Is it the
Oh,
Doozy
here,
Knitter?
I'll put the link in
Thank you.
the chat. It's really fun to see everybody's. There's the link, and you can just request to join, and then I'll approve it. I'll be looking. I have to leave right after today for another
Okay.
appointment, but so if I don't get to it right then, I'll get to it really, you know, by
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Joanne, what other things are you either anticipating or other problems are you having to see if we can kind of help some of them right now?
well, I'm on my second row of this fourth restart, and it's looking good. And I'm trying, like, my problem comes when I put my work down. It seems to be such a large circumference or whatever that when I pick it up, it doesn't always pick up in the right way. And I spend maybe 10 minutes just trying to get things straight before when I come back to my work, I can get started again. You know, it's, what am I doing wrong? I am a beginner. I will,
That's okay. So there's one, yeah, no, that's great. That's why we're all here. And it doesn't matter. There's always more learning, no matter how far along you are. So one rule is never to put down your work in the middle of a row.
aha, yeah.
Yeah, but then you lose your marker.
Well, I always, okay, good point. So I always knit one stitch, you know,
Okay.
or I knit one more stitch so that the marker doesn't fall off. You're absolutely right.
Because I can't keep, like, they have those things you put on the end of the points.
Those that
Never
stay on for you. Yeah.
forget
They've
it.
worked for me in the past, but I don't always take the time to put them on.
Yeah, I have to find what works.
Yeah. So Joanne, so don't put your work down in the middle of the row, even if you, oh, I need to get up and blah, 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 I need to fix
No matter
dinner.
who's hollering at you, yeah.
Yeah, finish, you know, say, okay, just a moment, I need to finish this row. Because that'll save you so much time. The other thing is there are a couple different ways. I use Post-it notes
Okay.
to put on the pattern. Let's see, here's a pattern, paper pattern.
Somehow I lost everybody.
Why didn't, Joanne, can you hear?
I can hear, but everybody's gone. Did I do something or anyway, I'll listen.
We can see
Oh,
you.
yeah, we can see you.
Then somehow I'm afraid to touch anything that I'll lose everything. So just I'll
Okay.
listen.
Anyway, I just take it and I can't find a pattern right now, but I just take it and, oh, you can't see me. Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
I just trust me that I put a Post-it note
Okay,
right.
I can visualize what you're
Yeah.
saying. You're saying it well.
I just put it right on the line where I'm at, and then I might even make a notation and say just finished row 9, or ready for row such and such repeat, or just whatever it might be. Are you talking about the knit 2 purl 2 rib?
Yeah, yeah, that. But basically, when coming back, like putting stuff around it, that the circular needle is long enough that it wraps around sometimes twice, and the row rotates on the needle
Well,
laterally, I
do
would
you
say.
have a stitch marker in at the beginning of the row?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But it's like when I put it down, I noticed that some people place it kind of in a heart shape. I said maybe that helps. I don't know. I'm not explaining myself very well, but when I pick it up, the thread is going the wrong way. You know, the where I need to pick up to start either knitting or whatever I'm going to do, purl. And so I have to straighten that out. The whole thing is all mixed up when I come back to what I'm doing. And I try to pay attention to putting it down. I think it's my problem with how I place it down when I leave my work to go do something else.
Are you is this one in the round, Pam?
Do you put
Yeah.
little,
Okay, so your working yarn, when you pick it up, your working yarn is always on the
I was
right
in the
side.
back.
So did
Yeah,
you hear Kathy, Joanne?
exactly.
Yeah.
On the right side.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I agree with
So
that.
in one sense, it doesn't matter then where all the other stitches are, and if they're curled and if whatever, that
Yeah.
almost doesn't matter, as long
Okay.
as you pick up the knitting
And
on
have
the right
yeah.
side, you know, so that you're on the correct side. You don't want to pick it up on the wrong side. Now, can you differentiate the right side from the wrong side?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If you can do that, just make sure it's the right
Because
side is always facing you and the
right.
yarn is on the right.
Yes.
I
Okay.
always
So
put a
I understand
blocking
that. But
stitch
some
marker to
You know,
show the right side.
something I do that's really crude is that I always put my little blue tip on the right needle. And then very
Oh.
tackily, I take a rubber band and I wrap it around my left needle. So I
Oh.
always, I know that
Oh,
this is
yeah.
where I'm starting because I'm right-handed.
Oh.
And so that's my right tip. And then I always know that that's the side of, like I'm purling right now. So if you looked at it, that's purl. But when I do my little turn, I'll be back on knitting. But that's just keeps, that's my right. And then my left is literally a little small rubber band that I just
That's brilliant.
roll around. Well,
Very
yeah,
good.
I've only been doing this 6 months, right?
That's brilliant.
But it
can't-
works.
Perfect
You've only been
adaptation.
knitting for 6 months, Shar?
Yeah, yeah. I started because
I
I
wish
read
I could see
Michelle
you.
Obama's book.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And then you guys were doing all the ads on Facebook or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
So no, I
look
could
what
not
you're
do this on
doing.
my own. I could not do this on my own.
Well, you do gorgeous work. Look at the stuff you've posted. I just can't believe it. And you even modified the pattern on the Ashby tee.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, I'm making mistakes, but I just feel like I'm learning as I go, and I kind of don't care. I just do the best I can.
Absolutely.
So
Okay, so Joanne, Shar
Yes,
just gave you a brilliant
she
tip
did.
that I
Yes.
think will work.
I
or
think
maybe
it
it's
will.
a red rubber band on one side and a
Whatever color,
different
yeah,
color on
as
the
long
left,
as you
you know?
differentiate,
But just
yeah,
stay true to your color.
right,
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. See, look at this.
Yeah, I use color coding with my stitch markers a lot. Like if I have multiple ones in when I'm doing a pattern sweater or something, I just have like all one color in, except if I want to delineate a certain area and I put a different color on each side of that, so I know I'm to that part of the pattern. And then green is always my beginning of round because it's green for go. So
Yeah. That
That's
sounds good.
brilliant too. Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah, I use like a little plastic marker or something for all the multiple markers, and then my beginning of round I'll use a pretty pearl drop or something,
Mhm.
something that says, oh, that's the beginning of the round.
Yeah.
And Regina, you said something else that kind of got passed in
Yeah,
the
I always put a locking stitch marker. I'm trying to find it here on the right side of the fabric.
Joanne, why don't
Ah.
you if you still can't see us, why don't you leave and join again, and then I'll put you back
Okay,
in,
I
and then
can't
I
even
think
see.
you'll be able to see.
Okay, let me see.
Or try some things, and don't worry about
I
leaving because you
tried
can just
something.
rejoin.
Okay, maybe that is what I need to do. I don't, and I'm having trouble seeing the icons on the, okay. Oh, I can't figure it out. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you know how to leave and join again?
I do, except what I'm seeing is a big yellow screen with the big word Zoom on it. There are no options for doing anything other than that. I
Can you
lost,
X out?
I can do that, but then I'll have
Okay.
to find the, I mean, I
Find the
wish I
link.
could,
If you just X out and just leave any fashion that you need to, and then use the link that you used to join us and come back, I think you'll be back on
all
track
right, I'll
when you
try.
come back.
If I don't, thank you, everybody. I'll
Oh,
be
no,
back.
come back. No, you just use that
Okay, here I
the
go.
link that you joined. Okay. Oh dear.
We're all holding our breath.
But I can still
I
hear
know.
you.
It's like, here
Cam,
she's still
can you,
here.
is she in your list?
Can I kick her off?
That's what I'm wondering. And then she can
No.
It's
rejoin.
just like all of a sudden, everything, wait a minute, what's this up here? Everybody disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It's one of those things. I can still hear you, and I'm not
Okay.
even, I X'd out of Zoom.
Okay.
So
So can you envision what Regina was saying, that she uses one of those plastic locking stitch markers, And just somewhere on the bottom, you know, where you start, or, you know, up an inch or two or wherever you want, just put the marker through so that it delineates which side is the right side.
Yeah. I just get very concerned about keeping the row going, you know, from
Going the correct direction.
from twisting around. And it seems I have to keep rotating it to get it all facing
Yeah, you
down.
will. That's normal. That's normal
That's
to have to
normal?
keep doing that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that
It
feels better.
once you yeah, once you get a few more inches knit, the weight of the knitting will sort of pull some of that out.
That's what I
And
think will happen if
yeah.
if I get beyond 1 inch, maybe 2 inches, I'll, you know, I'll be all set. That I won't have that problem.
Yeah, it gets easier. Probably by 3 or 4 inches, then you won't be having any problems at all. The weight
Yeah,
of
and
the
it will
knitting.
have established itself, and I think
But those two things, what Regina said, as far as delineating the right side, so you make sure that when you pick up your work, you're always on the right side. And then what Shar said about delineating which is the right side of is your right needle and which is your left needle.
Okay.
And those two things, I think, will get you over this
Right.
beginning hump. You know what's
I'm just
interesting?
proud of myself that I haven't said I quit. I just haven't.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
you
determined.
stick at it. I'm proud of you too. No, stick at it. You know, here's the deal. I've been knitting since I was what, 6, 7 years old, and yet I still find sometimes that at the beginning of a project, sometimes it takes a couple goes at, you know, a couple tries at it. I kind of have to go, wait a second, and take it out and back up and go at it again, you know, to sort of like, oh, okay, I got the hang of this now. I'll take it out and I'll do it. So don't be hard on yourself at all. Just like you said, be proud of yourself for sticking to it.
Yes, I am.
My friends make fun of me because I can't count to 2. When I'm doing a ribbing, that's a knit 2, purl 2, and I get to the second or third row, I screw it up. Every single time I have to restart ribbing 2 or 3 times.
I get that. I'm
This
doing
is the first one I have not had to do that. First time.
the Lakewood T is knit one to the back, purl one. It's just one.
Right.
I have trouble with it.
Well, I believe me, I
I
understand.
understand.
I totally understand because it's a joke. It's a running joke about me. And I can't argue. Because I always have to start over. Always.
I always tell people, when you learn the anatomy of the stitch, if you know what the purl looks like with the little bar across it, and this friend I was teaching to knit, and she was making up all these goofy things, like, you know, the guy at the bar gave me, what was it? The guy at the bar gave me a purl, so the purl has a bar on.
Oh.
And the knit stitch is, you know, and you always have to make sure the front leg is pointing top, you know, top is to the left, bottom's to the right. Once you learn to recognize what they look like, really look at them, you don't have to count.
Yes,
You
I
just see
agree.
purl, purl, knit, knit.
Yeah, I'm beginning to recognize that, and also where the yarn is when you end up or stop your stitch. If it's to the back, that was a knit stitch. Have I got that right? And if the yarn is to the front, it has to be brought to the front, then you're going to purl.
Right.
That's correct. I'm nodding my head and I just realized you cannot see me nodding.
I was hoping I was correct about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Wow. Okay, well, I'm very proud of you for taking this on. So you make sure that you, after today, that you still stay in touch by the
I
Facebook
sure
group
will.
and by messaging me if you have any more questions.
Thank you so
Because
much.
I think you will, you know. No, No, you will. There's just,
Of
you know,
course.
I know I will.
yeah. So
So,
Cheryl, are you there? I see Cheryl.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, how are you?
Good, I'm good.
Good.
I'm
How
still
how are
behind
things?
everybody. I'm still behind everybody, but I'm still knitting.
Oh no, you're not behind everybody, I don't think.
Oh,
Are
no.
you on the
Oh,
Lakewood
yeah.
Tea?
Well, that's no. I'm still
Oh, okay.
I'm still finishing up the earlier one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Are you on the Ashby?
No, I'm still on the Seven Sisters, but I separated for the sleeves. And so I'm doing the front now where you're going back and forth knit purl. So first time I've done that since this is my first sweater. So I'm making progress.
that's
Excellent, excellent.
beautiful sweater.
It really is, it's turned out to be one of the most popular sweaters of the year so far.
Oh my God, there you are.
Good for you.
Suddenly. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt, but I'm sorry.
So Cheryl, that's great. And so are you in the Facebook group as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay, excellent. So anybody has any questions, anybody has any problems, make sure you hop onto the Facebook group and make sure you head onto the Facebook group or send me an email. It's sometimes don't despair. It takes me a few days to get to some of the how to do questions. The people who go through customer service, any how to do pattern questions, they assign to me. And sometimes it takes me a few days to answer all of them, but I try to get to everybody eventually.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to have to go and
Thank
take
you so much. Bye,
My
everyone.
pleasure.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, everybody.
Stay well.
Wonderful fruit. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.